All right, we have a couple of TikToks here. You know, this is my favorite segment. You guys always have the funniest comments on YouTube under this segment, so keep those coming because I really enjoy reading through those. Tim, my producer, has picked these videos. We have not watched them yet, you and I. Let's watch them together. Roll the tape.
I just read an article that said they just built 60 new apartment complexes in Maine for migrants for free housing. Free housing, bro, for migrants in areas where there are already housing crises, where people cannot find housing, like apartments and affordable housing. So the people who already live here are already struggling to find apartments. And then they're like, let's build 60 new apartment complexes just for the migrants, and it'll be free. Please make it make sense. Why are we doing this shit? Why are we not building this shit for the people that already live here?
You know what's interesting is Maine doesn't get a lot of attention because the population of Maine is very small compared to other liberal states, but the policies from the Janet Mills administration in Maine are as leftist, as radical, as extreme, as anti-American as Gavin Newsom's policies in California. The population of California is just so enormous compared to Maine that California gets all the attention and Maine doesn't. But what Maine is doing right now is they are trying to radically transform the entire state by mass migration, via mass migration. They are importing migrants by the tens of thousands into Maine to the point where up to maybe 10% of the population will actually be different in the years to come, according to the governor's goals here. And they're literally using your tax money in Maine to pay for free apartments for migrants while the people of Maine have been struggling economically for quite some time. I love this type of independent journalism where someone, that woman, her username was Northwoods Wifey, where she's there. It's her family that's being hurt, and she's reporting on, hey, this tangibly impacts us and my community. That's the most powerful kind of journalism, so much more powerful even than politicians on stage talking about these issues. It's hearing from the people themselves, because no one watches that video and thinks, oh, that's okay that they're doing that. That's a good government policy. That's fair. That's just. That's moral. No, it's the opposite of that, and it's very obvious to see when you watch it.
Since discovering my gender expression and how fluid it is, I've come to a realization that if you want to date me, you have to be okay with the fact that you might wake up to a little boyfriend, a little androgynous partner, or a little femme girlfriend. You might have a boyfriend one day and a girlfriend the next day, depending on how I'm feeling in my gender expression. And I love that about me. I love that I'm not being put in a box anymore. I mean, I think I'm the only one that put myself in boxes, but I'm glad I'm taking myself out of the box and like allowing myself to be more fluid with my gender expression. Previously in the past, I would date people that loved being with a mask. Okay, they were like, I only want to be with a mask. I am femme for mask, 100%. You cannot be anything else. And they loved that about me. They loved that I was androgynous, more masculine. They loved that I would wear chest binders, and that half the time I would be perceived as a boy. I literally dated people who were like, oh my god, you just got called sir, I love that. What do you mean you love that? Because I didn't love that. I didn't love that. I'm non-binary. I don't like being called ma'am or sir, okay? I didn't love that. Why do you love it? And I hated that, okay? It was terrible. So if you want to date me, you have to be okay with the fact that some days you have a boyfriend, some days you'll have a girlfriend, and some days you'll have a little androgynous partner, okay? That is what I need. That is what I want, because that is who I am.
No one should date her. No one. She talks about taking herself out of the box. She should take herself down to the local psychologist and seek help. I actually feel bad for this girl because she's clearly suffering not only ideological mental delusion, but serious mental health issues, and she's in no position to be dated. Stay far, far away from her, my friends. Do not engage in a relationship because it will only bring you pain and sorrow.
Is that if you were elected president, you would fire 75% of the bureaucrats in federal government. Some of y'all are getting giddy about this. You get rid of the Department of Education, the FBI, EPA, that you would just get rid of, which would be millions of jobs. Would there be unintended consequences if you did that? Not saying you shouldn't, but...
No, yes, there would be. That's the honest truth. Because the way I look at it is, one risk is you don't cut enough fat. The other risk you're gonna take is you take the risk of cutting too much, so much fat that you also cut some muscle, but you're willing to do it because you think that's what the country requires. That's the risk I'm willing to take. And you know what, if we overcut too much and we need to build something back up, I'd rather do that on a clean scaffold rather than the really corrupt fourth branch deep state that operates and really runs the show of the US government today.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that's giddy hearing that. Dr. Phil was like, there's some of you giddy. Yeah, I'm the giddy one. I love hearing that. He's absolutely right. 100%. Abolish the administrative state. I'm going to make a t-shirt soon that says abolish the administrative state. I'll let you guys know when it's available.